Cher's son, Elijah, charged with simple assault and trespassing at a New Hampshire private school.
Elijah Blue Allman is facing legal charges. Multiple outlets report that the 49-year-old son of Cher and the late Greg Allman was arrested February 27th in Concord, New Hampshire, following an alleged incident at a local boarding school. According to multiple outlets, police respond to St. Paul's School after receiving a call about an unwanted guest who was causing a disturbance and acting belligerently. Authorities identify the guest as Elijah. Multiple outlets note that Elijah is charged with criminal trespass, criminal threatening, disorderly conduct, and 2 counts of simple assault, adding that he was processed and released on personal recognizance and is expected to appear in court at a later date. E-News has reached out to Cher's rep and the Concord Police Department for comment, but has not yet heard back. This news comes months after Elijah was hospitalized in June, when authorities responded to reports of a man acting erratically at a California residence. At the time, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department said in a statement to E! News that deputies located drugs inside the home and Allman was transported to the hospital. The investigation is ongoing.
I'm not seeing any major details here with the case, but I can tell you with the language that Elijah Blue Allman has the 96, just like assault. Assault has the 96. That's the language right there. Cher, his mother, also has that May 20th birthday. And I mean, there's a lot of days in the year, and it's going to land with Cuba's founding date, May 20th. And Cuba is trending. I just did the story even. Cuba says 4 killed in speedboat shooting were attempting to infiltrate the country. And then I brought that May 20th date up in that decode. Cuba's got the C like Cher, and it's even 4 letters. Look at that. But Cuba and Cher have that same founding, or that same birthday. Can you believe it? These characters are brought together by the numbers, okay? Because it's Greg Almond is the father to Elijah, okay? And it was a 5-month, 20-day span from his birthday to his death date. Look at that right there. Isn't that amazing? He died, and that's including both dates. Elijah Allman, age 49, charged with 4 misdemeanors, 2 counts of simple assault, criminal trespass, and criminal threatening. Allman, whose father was the late Greg Allman, was also charged with a violation of disorderly conduct, which is illegal in the state but not considered a crime, and that's in New Hampshire. But Greg Allman, the father, again, a 5-month, 20-day span from his birthday to his death date. And then that 520 is Mother Cher, her birthday. Even Cher equals 25. And that May 20th birthday leaves 225 days in the year. Born on the 20th, Cher equals 20. Gosh, it's just the numbers. You cannot deny this code, right? Cher, American singer, actress, cultural icon known for her contralto voice. I haven't heard that one. Fashion and reinvention. She's had number one hits across 7 decades from the 60s to the 2000s. Check that out. And here's the son. Again, Elijah. He's got that blue as the middle name. Right there. And look, I notice his spouse is King. Right there. You see that? Mary Angela King. That's amazing because King Harris keeps popping up in the algorithm right now. Right here. As his father had to fake beef with 50 Cent. I think King Harris might have had a diss as well, possibly. Looking like Ice-T and Ice Spice, right? Remember, all these characters are connected. But King popping up in the algorithm. Also, Neil Sedaka right here. Um, his high school sweetheart, Carole King. He died trending. King, King, and now King. All of this stuff hitting in the trending news, and this is again the spouse of Elijah Blue Allman, Cher's son, trending, arrested for this assault. Again, age 49. Here's Blue. He's got someone else named Blue as a sibling right here. Oh, is this his band or what? How come there's a birthday? Is this a name, right? That's a name? Devon Allman's Blues Summit? What kind of name is that? Am I wrong? Let me know. I don't know. It says sibling. There's a lot of siblings over here. You see this? Does Cher have a so how many sons does Cher have? She has two. Chaz. So is this Sonny Bono's kid or what? Chaz Bono. Look, his birthday is in a couple of days. Her other son's birthday is in a couple of days. What are the odds? Okay, Sonny Bono, Sonny and Cher. So she had kids. She's got kids from Greg Allman and Sonny Bono. Usually they do that and they don't tell us. And then we have to decode it and figure it out. Look at that. Chaz Bono's birthday is in a couple of days, her other son. Let's look at Sonny. Chaz has the C like Cher, 4 letters. I think this is 4 counts that the other son is facing as well, Elijah. 4 letters with Chaz, 4 letters with Cher. Remember Cuba, 4 letters as well, with the same birthday as Cher. Let's look at Sonny Bono, the other father of the other kid. His birthday just passed a couple of weeks ago. Look at that, man. What are the odds? His birthday just passed a couple of weeks ago. You see that on the fly right there? You know when you can go on the fly and you can further prove your point, you're on the right track. You know, I'm correct about what I'm showing you here, and I'm trying really hard. It's actually not hard, but I'm trying to give you this information. It's just facts that I'm reporting. Again, if you're here for entertainment, you really came to the wrong place. If you want to see facts of a fake world, This is where you want to be, because look, you can't deny this stuff. Okay, look at this. How is your attention span? Do you have an attention span? Are you about to click over to TikTok and start scrolling some dumbass videos? Look at this right here, because this was at a New Hampshire private school and very vague with the details. I don't even know if it was, can you get a simple assault? How how does that stretch? Like, I would think that would be physical, right? I guess maybe you can throw water on somebody and get an assault, but really no details here. New Hampshire private school in the reverse cipher 373. That's the 74th prime number. Cher equals 74. Okay. So, the words that they give us with these stories, it's, this is a code. Okay. This is a code. And, these are like number games, as I've said before. These stories are pumped out of a computer by the number, by these patterns. Remember, her other son's birthday is in a few days, so you have that energy, right? Now, how deep does this go? Remember, when we're born, we're given a number, there's a name. If you ever go to the hospital, like, oh, name all the conditions that other family members have. Let's hear your family history. They jot it all down. It makes me think that they can manipulate your future and the outcome of your life by all of this information and data that they collect. Now they're collecting all of our data on with our phones. They know everything we type. So, is that fair? Right? So we kind of do create our own destiny if we keep it in our hands, I guess, right? I've noticed it as well as I um come across new interests that of mine. I discover new interests and I begin to like Google and research different things. All of a sudden it becomes my algorithm. It kind of you I kind of like shift who I am and what is in my life. It's interesting, right? But the only thing is, if we were to know this from a young age, and it would be hammered into our brains, not just like, in elementary school and that's it. If it was continued, like, hey, the world really is fake like this, and it wasn't just something they taught us when we were like freaking 4 years old, our lives could have possibly ended, or continued to be different or changed as we grew into adults and later on into our life. That's my point here, and one of the reasons why I do this, because I mean, we have been deceived, and these distractions with the celebrities. Even Greg Allman is born in 1947, so 47 is that 74 reverse. I mentioned the other son that Cher had with Sonny Bono. And again, Chaz is his name. His birthday is in a few days. All right. I can see Greg Allman has the Sinead O'Connor birthday. So you're going to see connections there as well. If you're out there, Richard, you know about the 128 connection. And that's Sinead O'Connor's birthday. Now, what's interesting is Richard is in Virginia. Shout out to Richard West. Look at Greg Allman died in Richmond, Georgia. It's just interesting. And isn't there a Richmond, Virginia as well? Let me know if I'm wrong. But this is why I'm saying this stuff goes like on a deeper level with our names. It's amazing. Now it's a 171-day span right there from Greg Allman's birthday to his death date. And you can see how that's the same as the 5 month, 20 days that we hit on earlier, which syncs up with Cher's birthday, right? It's the same as a 171-day span, and simple assault and trespassing equals 171. The exact charge that his son, him and Cher's son, is facing now, simple assault and trespassing, is exact 171 that connects to Greg Allman's death, the father, with the 171-day span, again from his last birthday to his death date. How did he die? Let's look at this on the fly, okay? Come over here with me. How did Greg Allman die? Don't tell me it was from an assault. Wow, that's amazing that he died in Savannah, Georgia. I just mentioned, God, let's pull this up now. I just mentioned in the OJ video I did. Wow. That connects with Savannah Guthrie, with her mom being missing, and LeBron's wife, Savannah. And I told you, don't be surprised if a Savannah, Georgia connection hits. Wow. And immediately, Savannah, Georgia. Look at that right there. He died in Savannah, Georgia at the age of 69. Check that out. Wow. Complications from liver cancer. Jeez. It hits one more time, y'all. Shout out to anybody out there who is soaking up the information. Wow. What do you think about that? Isn't that amazing? Even Elijah has 117. Look at the numbers here. 117. Private school, 7-1. His birthday, 7-1-0, like 71. Look at it backwards. 10th day of the 7th month, 107. Same numbers, 17, 71, 117, 171, 171. Same numbers. Check it out here, because look at this pose. I don't normally do this like symbolism decoding. Look at him with that hand in his coat right there. This is the son here, arrested, simple assault, and what was the other one? Trespassing. Son of Cher and Greg Allman. Elijah Blue Allman. Look, he's got, it's like identical, the pose associated with Freemasonry. Look at that. Historically, a 18th, 19th century portrait convention signaling leadership, calm, and elite status. While sometimes used in rituals to symbolize loyalty or modesty, that's interesting. It largely originated from classical art representing oratorical grace and was commonly used to indicate high character. Isn't that amazing? Like, who does that? Who does that? George Washington does that. Karl Marx does that. Joseph Stalin does that. Napoleon does that. And these other characters. Sign of the Master of the Second Veil. Royal Ark Mason, York Rite. I just thought that I mean, I couldn't not show you that. Check that out right there. Okay, so are you digging the decode? Is there anybody out there? Just holler if you hear me, Big Papa Pump style.
Is Cher's son really arrested? Here's what happened. According to multiple reports, Elijah Blue Allman, the son of music legend Cher, was arrested in New Hampshire. He was reportedly charged with assault, trespassing, and disorderly conduct after an incident at a private school. Authorities say he has no connection to the school. He was later released pending court proceedings. Stay tuned for updates.
Yeah, I think we can use some updates. I think we can use some updates because what's he doing at this private school in New Hampshire, right? Arrested on Friday after acting belligerently at this private school, no name or anything. At about 7 p.m., Concord police responded to reports that Allman was disturbing people in the dining hall of St. Paul's School. Is that the name of it? St. Paul's School? After charging Allman, police said he was released on bail as his case works through the court system. Okay, I think it is called St. Paul's School. I'm going to try to look it up. Let's see. New Hampshire. New Hampshire. Okay, there it is. I found it. I found it over here. So you could see this trending story right here. That middle name, Blue. Interesting. 325 Pleasant Street, Concord, New Hampshire. The mascot is a pelican. Colors white and red. School opens at 8:30. New Hampshire's founding date. Let's just take a look. June 21st. Okay, I don't notice anything. Look at this right here. New Hampshire was named in 1629 by Captain John Mason. We're just talking about the Masons with that pose. Look at this, man. We were just talking about that pose. Isn't that interesting? Captain John Mason, English born military officer. They say he gave the name New Hampshire. Leading figure in early New England, best known for commanding uh, colonial forces in the 1637 Picot War. Wow, right? And we're just talking about the Masons with that slide right there and that pose. Isn't that interesting? I don't know what the odds are that that was going to happen. It's just interesting, right? Call it a coincidence.
Is
Cher's son charged with simple assault and trespassing. Again, I don't know if this was physical. St. Paul School. Man, I kind of want to. I'm gonna put St. Paul School in the calculator real quick now that I have the name. St. Paul. St. Paul has that 17 that connects with all the 17, 71s, 171s. I don't see anything there. Oh, look at that. Elijah Allman has the 44. Private school has 64, like St. Paul's School. There you go. There you go. Look at that. Elijah Allman, 44. Private school, 64. How about that right there? Okay. So, insult to injury, simple assault, Cher's son, trespassing at this New Hampshire private school, Elijah Blue Almond. Almond. I'll see you in the next decode.